Met Police boss Sir Mark Rowley has claimed that police officers are hesitant to take on criminals in case that they are investigated for misconduct afterwards. He told the London Policing Board yesterday one impact is officers increasingly hesitant to act. All of our data puts a load of emphasis on their sense of post-incident, whether they are going to get a fair investigation and fear that if I act with good intent, the world could still fall on top of me in an unfair way. I've seen examples where that's exactly what's happened. The whole regulatory approach to policing is misplaced. It makes it too hard to remove officers who shouldn't be in policing, and the 99% who are doing a great job, it discourages them from doing their job, which, can I just say, should be, horrific news to all of us. But the Met Police chief went on to specifically say one of the officers who apprehended the man accused of killing a 14-year-old boy in Hainault last month claimed they feared being investigated for how they dealt with that incident. I'm joined now by retired London police officer, founder of Protect the Protectors, Norman Brennan. Norman, look, this is absolutely horrendous that we have the police who are clearly too scared of lawfare to act.
It's as bad as you highlight, Patrick. It's taken a long, long time for the Met Commissioner to admit what hundreds of Met officers have been telling me since he became the Commissioner. What does it say when you as a police officer are called to possibly a life-threatening situation against you, your colleagues, or members of the public, with someone with a knife or a gun or with a weapon, and you're thinking throughout the entire time of dealing with that incident, if I do something wrong, if a member of the public videos me and puts it on social media, pressure will be put on the Commissioner or my Chief Constable for me to be suspended. And I think what epitomised what Mark Rowley has said, Patrick, was this. A few months ago, I saw two firearms sergeants parked up in their big 4x4. I parked up behind them, I was having a coffee, and I had a chat with them for 30 minutes. Both were pretty experienced, one very experienced, the other one 15 years in. And I said to them, after the shooting of Chris Caber, when you get called to a firearms incident, does it ever cross your mind when you pull out your firearm, if you discharged that firearm, the implications? And do you know what? They both didn't really hesitate, and they said, Norman, we do. Now, that moment of lapse, concentration, could cost that officer their life. That is how bad it is, and that is the sort of trouble that policing are in. And they're frightened of getting suspended. They're frightened of getting under investigation. You're under investigation now, Pat, for 2 to 3 years for a crime or an offence or a discipline allegation on a simple stop and search for 2 years, 3 months. Two of the officers that I'm actually representing or looking after in the Met are broken. They were once strong. They disarm people. One's in charge of a robbery squad. He messaged me only 2 days ago. He said, Norman, 2 years, 3 months, I've gone through hell. He said, do you know what all I did for the Met Police was do a stop and search? And Patrick, just before you come back, those two officers were exonerated by the Metropolitan Police. The Met professional standards look for all the body-worn camera, but the IOPC, because the mother wasn't happy about it, insisted the Met discipline them. These two officers, from being strong, are now on antidepressants, broken, failed and alone. That's the reality of frontline policing, Pat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We are a bit pressed for time, but, I mean, is this the reality of it, Norman, that you go out as a police officer, you're not incredibly well paid, you stop someone because you think you've got grounds to stop and search them, and then someone pulls the camera phone out, and before you know it, you wake up 2 years later, you're now a racist and you haven't got a job anymore?
Yep. All these allegations, and often only convenient clips, are actually put on social media, puts pressure on chief constables, police crime commissioners. And the thing is, Pat, is that these police officers are leaving in their droves. Stop and search is down from 1.5 million in 2009 to 500,000 last year. And officers are telling me now, Norman, I'm not going to carry out stop and search. I value my career, my family far more. And to finish off with, Pat, do you know what it is? The Metropolitan Police and chief constables and police crime commissioners around Britain have lost touch with their frontline officers, and it's all about corporate image. Well, the image is police officers are leaving in their droves.